Have you ever wondered what exactly happens to yourself and your brain when you're sleeping? I'm going to go over sleep stages, the cycles that constitute sleep, and some things that might actually mess up your sleep cycles. Let's dive in. To start, sleep is a cornerstone of human health, and I guess every species' health. Because some literature and pretty sad research studies ended up showing that you will literally die without sleep. Those were animal research studies, not human research studies. And the death that was caused by lack of sleep by these animals, which again is extremely sad, was from organ failure. And it also came alongside a horrible mess up of the animal's metabolism. So you might be wondering, if I'm not getting the sleep that I need, and I'm not getting all the sleep stages and going through the cycles properly, I might end up with some degree of organ failure and possibly messed up metabolism. Well, you're exactly right. So now it's important to understand the stages that constitute a sleep cycle. When we go to sleep, we are cycling anywhere between 3 and 6 sleep cycles throughout the night that usually last about 90 minutes. These 90-minute cycles are broken down into further stages. In essence, they can be divided into 2 main stages that we'll cover in more detail. There are the non-rapid eye movement stages, and then there is the rapid eye movement stage, which I'll cover in more detail. This cyclical journey is responsible for enhancing and improving cognitive processes, the entire restoration of your body, and in doing so, overall well-being. First, I'm going to start with explaining rapid eye movement, because that'll better help explain non-rapid eye movement. Rapid eye movement sleep is marked by rapid eye movement, or the eyes moving in sync under your eyelids to the left and to the right. Dreaming happens in the rapid eye movement stage, as does some significant brain activity. This stage of sleep, rapid eye movement or REM, is vital for memory consolidation and emotional processing. Memory consolidation is basically just a term for your body being able to pick which memories to throw away and pick which memories to save. Now that you understand rapid eye movement, let's talk about non-rapid eye movement stages. There are 3 I'm going to discuss. The N1 and N2 stage are considered light stages of sleep. This is when you're still trying to fall asleep, you could be easily awoken, and brain activity at this point is still pretty active. Then, as you get sucked deeper and deeper into sleep, you reach this deep restorative stage called N3. N3 is also called slow wave. So I just mentioned slow wave, and I've been talking about brain activity. So it's important to explain that when we have studied the science of sleep, we are using something called EEG. This study basically explains how EEG biomarkers, or rather looking at the size, shape, distance of wavelengths shown by EEG, can predict the start and stop of various sleep stages. So now, when I told you earlier that N1 and N2 have a lot of brain activity, they're often defined in the EEG as having very short wavelengths. However, when we enter a deeper restorative N3 stage, the brain waves have a much greater distance. They're bigger, slower waves, often referred to as delta waves. The interesting phenomenon that happens is that after we're done with this deepest N3 stage, we switch over to REM, and suddenly the brain activity increases to a phenomenal rate, almost as if we're already awake. So essentially, we start out in this light stage of sleep where we have a lot of brain activity. And then we get sucked into this deep sleep, the N3, where our muscles become super, super relaxed. At that point, then we get sucked into REM, which is the dream stage. Once that one's complete, the cycle begins again. Typically, a healthy adult experiences 4 to 6 sleep cycles per night, and each sleep cycle can range between 90 to 110 minutes. If we understand the nuances of sleep cycling, as we age, these sleep cycles can undergo some changes. Research highlights a reduction for older adults in slow wave and REM sleep, leading to potential impacts on sleep quality, cognitive function, and health. By understanding the nuances of sleep cycling and its evolution with age, offers profound insights on improving sleep hygiene and developing interventions to mitigate age-related declines in sleep quality and cognitive function. Now, it's important to mention that there is still ongoing research trying to figure out exactly how we switch from non-rapid eye movement stages in our sleep to the REM stages. There's a lot of models and theories out there. One such model is by this citation, and it introduces the flip-flop switch model, which explains the sleep stage changes through the mutual inhibition between wake-promoting and sleep-promoting neuronal circuits. So to break that down, if you're having trouble flipping the switch from non-REM to REM, you're just not going to get to REM. That's the theory. That's just to share a little piece of the whole puzzle for you, so you understand there's a lot that we don't quite know about how exactly the brain switches over to the REM stage. Now I'm going to go through a list of common things that can mess up your sleep cycles. You'll notice not on this list is circadian rhythms, and that's because I'm going to do an entirely separate video on that subject. Caffeine and stimulants. If consumed too close to bedtime or in exorbitantly high quantities, they can delay the onset of sleep and reduce REM. Next up is alcohol. Although it may seem to initially promote sleepiness, alcohol can definitely disrupt REM sleep later in the night. Not to mention, there is literature to support that recovering alcoholics may also experience, in the early stages of their recovery, a decrease in the ability to switch into that deep sleep stage, or the N3. The next culprit is electronic devices. The blue light emitted from digital technologies, or our screens, can interfere with the production of melatonin. I will have an entirely separate video going over all the hormones responsible for helping with sleep. In general, however, this interference with the melatonin production can delay sleep onset, which will affect sleep quality. The next culprit is an irregular sleep schedule. Our body likes routine, and a varying wake-up and bedtime schedule can disrupt your body's internal clock, therefore negatively impacting your sleep. Next culprits are stress and anxiety. These can make it very difficult to fall asleep and can also increase nighttime awakenings or sleep disturbance. This therefore affects sleep depth and quality. And I will also add that stress and anxiety aren't always negative. They can be directed towards something that we're really excited about, but at any rate, that excitability can still keep us awake. So instead of thinking of stress as a bad thing, it also encompasses excitement. So if you find that your emotions are all over the place, you're really super excited about something, or you're extremely stressed by something, it's still a really good idea to practice meditating before bed, if you have the ability to do so. But more on that later. Stress and anxiety could fill up an entire course worth of videos, which I have. Next up is a poor sleep environment. This can be noise, light, and uncomfortable temperatures. All of these things can interrupt sleep cycles and therefore reduce sleep quality. In general, our body likes to have the temperature of a room be slightly colder. We want our body temperature to drop just a little bit. It will help us get a deeper sleep. Another culprit that can cause poor sleep are some medications. If you're on medications, always read the side effects. And if you find out that that medication that you might be on could be a culprit for your sleep disturbance, never hesitate to talk to your doctor and ask them to share alternatives. Another culprit for poor sleep is eating late. Eating a big meal will direct a lot of the attention from your body to digesting the food. Ideally, you do not want to eat 1 to 2 hours before you sleep, and ideally you want to have your stomach cleared out so that way your body can just do the job of helping restore and heal and sleep. The next culprit for poor sleep quality can be physical inactivity. Lack of exercise can impact sleep quality and duration. However, I will add that in some cases, if you are overtraining your sympathetic nervous system, this may increase your stress levels and your excitability and can also lead to poor sleep. Check out my video on overtraining for more information about these two nervous system pathways, parasympathetic and sympathetic. The next culprit that can impact our sleep are, of course, health conditions. These range from sleep disorders like night terrors, just as an example. Chronic pain can impact our ability to sleep soundly and deeply. Otherwise, respiratory issues such as, of course, sleep apnea can definitely be a culprit. Another culprit that may be causing you to have poor sleep are hormonal imbalances. This can be a hormone imbalance such as a decrease in melatonin, or it could be a hormone imbalance from the natural aging process, such as menopause. Those hormone imbalances alone can cause lack of sleep, but often, alongside menopause, the night sweats that come with it can also keep you up. Last but definitely not least, a culprit for poor sleep are mental health disorders. These range from something as simple as mild depression to something as drastic as severe mental disorders. All right, so I hope you understand better what exactly goes on when you're falling asleep, from the concepts of the sleep stages, about how long our cycles are, how many cycles we should have throughout the night if we are considered healthy, and also what's going on that could be leading to poor sleep in your life. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe for more tips and educational content on holistic fitness and wellness, and share with your friends and family or those who will benefit from this info. That's all for this one, and always remember your health is an investment, not an expense.